So you're thinking about buying the Steam Frame, or maybe you're just Steam Frame curious, but there's one thing you need to understand. It's not for everyone. So before you spend your money, there are a lot of things you should consider, because this headset is very different from something like the Quest 3, and I get it, it's easy to get excited. On paper, this feels like the most interesting VR headset we've seen in years. But depending on the games you play, your PC setup, and your expectations, the Steam Frame could be incredible, or a very expensive mistake. And there's a lot we still don't know yet, and will hopefully be confirmed in time. So today, I'm breaking down everything you need to consider before buying the Steam Frame. The Steam Frame isn't really a standalone headset, and that's where the confusion starts. At its core, the Steam Frame is a PCVR first headset. Yes, it runs SteamOS on ARM, and yes, it can technically run some things on the device, but its real strength, and the thing it's designed around, is streaming high fidelity VR from your gaming PC. So if you're coming from the Quest and expecting a pure standalone replacement, that expectation alone can set you up for disappointment. Like Valve themselves even say that the Steam Frame is a streaming first headset, which emphasizes that it's PCVR focused. And at this stage, we don't know what VR games or PC games it will be able to run natively, so planning to purchase a Steam Frame without a gaming PC at this stage is a bit risky in my opinion. And I'd personally wait until we have a bit more information and confirmation of what games will actually be available. But it's important to answer the most significant question first. Can your PC setup actually run the Steam Frame? If your PC struggles currently, the Steam Frame won't magically fix that. This is the biggest factor you should consider when buying the Steam Frame. For a good PCVR experience, you'll want a GPU that's capable of running VR games. I used to have an RTX 3080 and at times it did struggle. You'll also want a reasonably modern CPU, good cooling, and plenty of storage for large VR games, because they can get large. PCVR is far more demanding than flat screen gaming. You're rendering high resolution images at high refresh rates twice. Once per eye. And here's the part people forget. Wireless PCVR usually adds extra system load. Your PC isn't just rendering the game, it's also encoding that video stream in real time. Valve hasn't shared exact numbers yet, so demanding VR titles, sims, or heavy mods could stress your system more than monitor gaming. But they do say that dongle performs efficiently with low latency, so again, we may just have to see how it performs once it's released. So if your PC is already near its limits, that's something to seriously keep in mind. But if you are planning to pair the Steam Frame with the Steam Machine, there's some important considerations. The Steam Machine is convenient, but it won't beat a full gaming PC. The Steam Machine is designed to make PCVR more accessible, not to outperform a traditional desktop gaming PC. Because of size, power, and thermal limits, a compact Steam Machine will almost certainly use lower power CPUs and GPUs than, say, a full mid-range or high-end gaming PC. That doesn't make it bad, it just means expectations matter. For well-optimized VR games or older PCVR titles, a Steam Machine could deliver a solid console-like experience. But for more demanding sims, heavy mods, or pushing maximum visual fidelity, a full desktop PC will probably still perform better. So think of the Steam Machine as more of a convenience option and a low barrier entry to PCVR, and not a replacement for a powerful gaming rig. Now, this is where the hardcore PCVR fans start arguing. The Steam Frame is wireless PCVR only. There is no DisplayPort connection. Instead, it uses a dedicated 6 GHz adapter that connects directly to the headset, not your home router, that I'm aware of. The plus side is that this helps avoid bad routers, mesh network issues, and household congestion. But the downside, wireless VR always involves compression, no matter how good the tech is. It's not the same as uncompressed DisplayPort video, so if you're a sim racer or obsessed with maximum clarity, wired PCVR headsets will probably still deliver the cleanest image. But again, we don't know how it compares until the Steam Frame's release. An important caveat though, the Steam Frame uses foveated streaming, which uses eye tracking to encode what you're looking at in higher detail, and the rest at lower detail. So this actually reduces bandwidth demands and can make wireless performance more stable, not worse. So it will be interesting to see how this actually performs. So assuming your PC or Steam Machine is up to the task, the next big question is what the experience actually looks and feels like once it's running. Because where your PC is physically located matters more than you think. The 6 GHz adapter works best with the clean signal path, Ideally, your PC should be in the same room or close enough for line of sight. If your PC is in another room or office, you may need to reposition the adapter or run long cables. And it's not a deal breaker, but something many people forget to plan for or consider. And if you love mixed reality, this could be a deal breaker. The Steam Frame is designed for VR first use. Pass-through on the Steam Frame appears to be monochrome, not full color mixed reality like the Quest 3. So mixed reality fitness or cinema and room-aware experiences aren't the focus here. Steam Frame prioritizes immersion, not blending VR into your room. So if you're planning to play flat screen games in mixed reality, the monochrome cameras could be a bit of a letdown. But even if the tech side checks out, none of that matters if the headset doesn't fit how you actually use VR day to day. Are there games you actually want to play? I personally think PCVR delivers on some of the best in-depth gaming experience available. From full fidelity gaming experiences like Kayak VR to physics sandbox arenas like Hellsplit Arena. There's some great games for the Steam Frame, but a lot smaller library, and we see way less games than say the MetaQuest. Plus the games are generally more expensive. The upside though, there's a whole world of modding available for PCVR, which provides endless entertainment. But when it comes to PCVR, it's about depth versus convenience. Another thing to consider is you may need to buy extra gear for the Steam Frame. Valve hasn't detailed anything about audio quality yet. There's no visible off-ear speakers like the Quest. It doesn't appear to have an audio jack either, so you may need to budget for headphones if you don't like the open ear speakers. Microphone quality is also unknown, but Valve says it's good, but again, we'll have to see. Well, not a big deal. I know these important factors for VR chat and content creators. And speaking of VR chat gamers, the Steam Frame does not use Lighthouse base stations that we're aware of. But something you need to consider is, are you okay with all your full body tracking hardware becoming redundant? Because that stuff's expensive. I'm sure over time there may be some workarounds, but again, something for consideration. And the big question mark, comfort is still a big unknown. Early demos suggest good balance thanks to the rear battery, but long session comfort isn't proven yet. Halo straps and comfort are very personal. We also don't know how well it fits over glasses, so comfort mods like for other VR headsets may be a necessary part of ownership. But one thing that is exciting, but potentially understood, is the Steam Frame expansion ports. The expansion port supports high bandwidth camera inputs and PCIe Gen 4 lane, and in theory, this could enable things like color pass-through, hand tracking, depth sensors, or entirely new tracking solutions. But there's no official modules exist yet. There is future potential, but not guaranteed launch features. So again, banking your purchase that mods will happen can be risky. And one of my biggest personal concerns is country availability. The Steam Frame said it's coming to more than just the US, but my question is, when? They say the Steam Frame is planned for the same regions as the Steam Deck, including North America, Europe, UK, Australia, Japan, South Korea, Hong Kong, and Taiwan. But I know in Australia, we didn't get the Steam Deck for years and years. So when they say same regions, they may not mean at launch. And the big question is price and release date. We still don't know. But there have been concerns over the rising cost of RAM over the last few months, and a belief that this will greatly increase the cost of the headset. But the LCD panels instead of the OLED should hopefully keep the price down. But Valve did say it would be cheaper than the Index, which puts it under $1,000. I'm guessing $899 maybe, but let me know your bets in the comments. So before you buy the Steam Frame, there's a lot to consider. And of course, there's a lot we just don't know yet. I'll be buying one regardless, so make sure to subscribe for more Steam Frame news and info. And let me know in the comments, are you buying one or waiting? I'll see you in the next video.